Demi was born 3 weeks premature. She was quieter than other babies, wasn't doing as much, but I thought somehow it was something I wasn't doing. And then around 6 months old, I woke up to her having a seizure next to me. She ended up having 4 seizures that day, and we received a referral for neurology. The neurologist that we first went to see said, "Oh, she's floppy, you hold her too much. Stop holding her so much."
Valentina was born without complication or incident. She passed all newborn screenings, and she took to eating and sleeping pretty well. She was diagnosed with strabismus, and she got surgery at 7 months to correct it. She wasn't really meeting milestones at this point, making eye contact, and she continued to be delayed and had very low muscle tone. But at this point, at 15 months, she was diagnosed with a point mutation of the MEF2C gene. And getting that news, standing in my kitchen, was the worst moment of my life and the shock of a lifetime.
Our geneticist had called us. It was the end of COVID. She had wanted to talk to us pretty immediately after she got the results. And she said, he has this very specific microdeletion and very little is known about it. At the time, he had just started to walk, but we didn't know if he was going to talk. We didn't know if he was going to be able to feed himself. And he still can't do a lot of things, but just the unknowns of it were really striking.
We probably didn't realize how far behind he was until about 9 months. Liam started to be able to sit up on his own a little after his first birthday, and he walked at about 3.5 years old. You cannot imagine the excitement that his accomplishments brought us. But this was our first child. We still had hope that all was okay. He had to wear a hip brace 24/7 for the first few months of his life because one hip was not perfectly aligned. We attributed his motor skill delays, focus delays to the hip brace, and our pediatrician seemed to think everything was fine, even though he wasn't meeting any developmental milestones.
She has a normal brain, a normal body. Everything works. What is this invisible thing inside of her that's causing this? Just being so alone and being told we'd never meet another family who has this.
So neurology checked genetics, and about a year later we got the results back and it said MEF2C. Didn't know what that meant, went on Google looking everywhere. There was minimal information. And then I realized she's not just going to catch back up. My hope is that she can learn to communicate. Even just to be able to say, "I love you, Mom," would make my life.
You know, you're always thinking about the future. What is Darwin going to be like when he's 10, when he's 15, when he's 30, when he's 50? And what are we going to do to make sure that Darwin is taken care of and that he has as productive and happy of a life that he can have?
Our son Liam was recently diagnosed with a pathogenic mutation on the MEF2C gene. At the end of the summer of 2023, I created the US MEF2C Foundation to help our son and other patients with pathogenic variants on the MEF2C gene. Our mission is to accelerate treatments to help our patients lead lives of greater self-sufficiency, to promote collaboration within the scientific community, and to provide our patients with a network of support and a path to treatments and a cure. After diagnosis of autism at age 3, and several years following of countless hours of all kinds of therapies, it was clear that there was something profound holding him back. Right after his 10th birthday, he was diagnosed with a pathogenic mutation on the MEF2C gene. There was no real information on what we could do about this disorder. There were no treatment options. There was not a lot of information about mutations on the MEF2C gene. And so the doctors were Googling, and so were the patient families.
The US MEF2C Foundation has done a great job in terms of aggregating that information, synthesizing that, and being able to be representative of your voice. Every person matters, every single one. I can't emphasize that enough. So we need to make sure your voice is heard as we plan going forward and that we don't leave anyone behind. We need to be able to see what works, how it works, and for whom it works.
Thank you.